Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Attack on Card Games. I know last time I talked about Magic the Gathering, but I haven't really kept up much with M15 or Journey into Nyx or any of this new stuff. So what I've been recently doing is playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! I have the Yugioh Pro app on my phone, so I've been able to do more play. I've been able to look at a lot of the OCG cards, which I normally wouldn't have been able to do. And a lot of players now are playing this archetype called Shaddolls. It's a new archetype. It's really powerful. It's really strong. It's almost a lockdown type of deck. Prevents you from keeping a special summon monster on the field because it'll die by an effect. You are only allowed to special summon once per turn. It has a lot of really cool things that you can do with them. My partner, Predator AVX, now known as Light From Salt, actually plays the deck. He really likes it. He says that the deck's slow to start, but it still has a lot of play, and a lot of players are playing it now. But new deck that I've been seeing has been Melodious Fairies. Melodious Fairies are a really good fairy archetype that just recently came out. Just recently, I saw 3 cards for it come out: Primal Prodigy Mozart, Aria Melodious Diva Fantasia, and Sonata Melodious Diva Fantasia as well. Those were the first 3 that I saw, and I was really excited because it was a new fairy archetype. So I created their own version by themselves. Since there was only 3 cards, I couldn't do much, so I mixed them in with things like Athena, Archer Christia, Death as Goddess of Light, you know. But then, like a week or 2 later, I ended up seeing more cards for it. An entire deck filled of nothing but Melodious Fantasia Fairies. And I remember a while back I was complaining that everyone special summons a lot now. My deck was a little slow, and the only thing that I had for special summoning was Valhalla Hall of the Fallen or Master Hyperion if I had Agents in Graveyard. But when I looked at this new deck, I noticed that they all had awesome effects when they were special summoned, and I was wondering how am I going to special summon them. And then I noticed the boss monster, Primal Prodigy Mozart. Once per turn, I am allowed to special summon 1 fairy type monster of anything, any level, from my hand, special summon them to the field. And then I started noticing that that's one way to special summon them, but this is a level 8 monster. And then I came across cards like Celestial Transformation, and a new card called Solo First Movement, which allows you to special summon a level 4 lower Melodious Fairy from your deck or your hand. To me, that's really amazing because it helps you thin out your deck. And I noticed Celestial Transformation before too, but the downside is that your monsters would usually die during the end phase, they'll get destroyed. But with the new Melodious card called Elegy says that when this card is special summoned, all your I think Melodious Fairies cannot be destroyed by card effects. So Celestial Transformation doesn't destroy my monsters. And I actually thought that was really well. There's a lot of play with these new cards. Like you have Elegy, you have Sonata, Aria, you have Cannon, you have Francois. I really like Francois. I'm taking in a second Francois. I used to run 1. I'm going to try a second one. What Francois does is once per turn, you're allowed to look in your graveyard and pick out any fairy that you want and add it to your hand. So if you just use Honest and you want to retrieve it, you're able to retrieve it now. And there's a lot of Melodious Fairies now that allow you to pump your monsters. So to me, this is a lockdown deck too, because Aria prevents your monster from being destroyed by battle or being destroyed by card effect, being targeted by card effect. Sorry. Elegy prevents your monsters from being destroyed by card effects. Sonata pumps your monsters, and I think Elegy pumps them too. So you have really powerful monsters. Francois will normally die because he's 23, but if you special summon the other Melodious Fairies, you're allowed to pump it, and he'll be like 31, 29, depending, and they can't die. When I mentioned the deck type to Lightstorm with some salt, he made his own version and he called it Bach. Because this whole deck is based around classical music, or at least that would be my understanding, since Melodious, spell card called Solo First Movement, and most of them look like musical instruments. So I figured it'd be funny. That's the inside joke with us. And he told me about how he was putting into the deck Thunder King Ryo. So I teched it in. It actually works. And if you have Archer Christie on the field, that's a really big lock. And you have your traps like Fiendish Chain, Mirror Force just in case, Bottomless, your default traps. To me, I like to run Dark Bribe. I know everyone says that it's a bad card, but if your opponent plays a spell card, for example, and you have no way to deal with it, you can just Dark Bribe. Sure, they'll plus one, but when you have a big lock like with your Melodious Fairies out, you would normally wouldn't want them to special summon something, or if Christian's not on the field, or to find a way to change the game. So it'll be fine. But that's just me. I run it. Um, I like the deck a lot. It works really well. And well, I have no idea if it is gonna get hit when he gets here, because right now to me I think it's pretty strong, because Primal Prodigy Mozart lets you special summon any fairy, and Francois lets you grab any fairy from your graveyard. I don't know if they'll change the effect to you can only special summon a Melodious Fairy or grab a Melodious Fairy from your graveyard. But who knows? I guess I have to wait until it comes to the States. And I really hope it comes out soon, and hoping it's not too expensive so I can actually make the deck. And yeah, there's actually a Melodious card that acts like Getting Duo in the sense that it works as double tribute, and if it will special summon this turn, you're allowed to normal summon an additional Melodious Fairy this turn. So that's really good. It lets you normal summon one additional Melodious Fairy will special summon. So you can normal summon it, and then or you can special summon it, tribute it, and get Primal Prodigy Mozart out. Use Primal Prodigy Mozart Spec to special summon Elegy, or special summon Aria, which is what I like to do actually. And then with Sonata, if you have Sonata in hand, Sonata special summons itself if you have another Melodious Fairy on the field. So Aria prevents your monsters from being destroyed by battle or targeted by card effects, and Sonata gives all your fairies a pump. I recently played a Sylvan player, and he had wiped my field, and I thought I was done for. But then I drew into Aria, Melodious Diva Fantasia, and I had Valhalla in hand. I played Valhalla, special Aria, and in defense mode, of course, and then I ended my turn. My opponent just went out and all out. He tried to do what he could to get rid of my monster, to kill it, to do anything. He couldn't do anything. He did the lone flower blossom thing, the copy plant. He excavated Flower Knight. He had Sage of Coal on the field and all the other cards. And at the end of the day, he just had to scoop. Yeah, I mean, I have had the best play in the world ever, but having a monster that could not be targeted by effects, by cards, or destroyed by battle was actually really powerful. And well, guys, this has been Jeffalchemist, and I'll catch you guys later.